Welcome, mortal fools, to the most terrifying, spectacular show on Earth. Fasten your seatbelts and hold on tight, and take a ride with the Dark Carousel Podcast. Welcome, mortals! Let's fucking ride! On the DCP!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Dark Carousel Podcast! You were supposed to hit the applause, dude.
Fuck that button.
Man, now it's like... What's up, everybody? This is lovely old Arthur and Steve from the Dark Carousel Podcast. We are presenting you the newest episode of the Dark Carousel Podcast. You know how many times I'm going to say the Dark Carousel Podcast? Probably about 1,000 more times during this episode, because we are the Dark Carousel Podcast for a reason. Guys, we are super excited for this new episode of the Dark Carousel Podcast. And we're going to sit down and talk to the lovely gentleman, Funny Bones. And what's cool about this guy... He looks so fucking amazing. I don't know what haunt he works at, but there's reasons why I don't know, is because I didn't want to dive too deep and get answers. I just know that he's from Rhode Island. He's been around in the business for a while, and I'm super pumped to finally talk to the gentleman. But before we talk to that gentleman, guys, we're going to sit here and get franked. Guys, if you don't want to get frankenfueled, you guys should get frankenfueled. Sorry, I had to like restart my shit. Guys, thank you so much. Dude, I'm a little tired. I worked thirds last night, and so I got off at 7, slept for like 3.5 hours, and then, well, probably a little bit longer than that. Anyway, doesn't matter. Anyways, thank you so much, Frankenfuel, for giving us the opportunity to shout you out constantly. And dude, Dinwiddie, thank you, brother, for the freaking pictures and the videos and supporting us with the merch, dude. That was so amazing. But if you guys want to get some Frankenfuel, go to www.frankenfuel.com/DCP to get 15% off your next purchase. Man, my brain right now. But yeah, dude, I'm super pumped. What was our last episode? It was Jada, right? Jada and Nicole. Yeah. What a lovely lady that was. She was. No, it's just cool because it's like the story that she has about like her mom and how she grew up in the haunt world. It inspires a lot of people, because like some people are growing up into it. Some people are thrown into it. Some people just walk in and say, hey, I'm here. Like Buckshot. Buckshot just showed up one day, said, I'm here to release some stress. Yeah. But it's cool because there's so many different ways of going upon being a haunter. And to be a haunter, dude, you can do it in any way or form of being spooky and scary. But the biggest thing is as long as you can be yourself and have fun with it, that's all that should matter. 100%. I can't get enough of it. I don't think I ever will. I know there are points in, our lives where we're just like, all right, I need to take a little break, but I can't stop. It's addicting. It's like heroin, dude. It's just so addicting. I don't know why I said heroin. It wasn't. Yeah, but anyways, I love it so much. I can't get enough of this, guys. Guys, haunt season is almost over. I know some of you go a week after, the first of November and stuff, but man, it's one thing.
Uh-oh.
And
I see something.
We have a floating head, and this is Funny Bones, guys. What's up, man?
His mic's muted.
Yep. It's still.
Yeah, I can see it on the screen. It still says it's muted.
Mm-hmm. It's a badass mask.
There it goes.
There it is.
Hi.
What's up, man?
Sorry about that. Not much. How are you guys doing?
We're doing absolutely wonderful, dude. We appreciate you taking time out of your day and doing this, bud, because it really means a lot. But
no, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Hey, you're welcome, dude. Your mask is badass.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
Pure evil masks. That's the name of the mask company.
What
the
is
mask
it?
maker that did this one.
What was
Pure Evil Mask.
Your Evil Mask. Man, that's badass looking.
Pure Evil Mask.
Pure Evil Mask. Sorry, dude, my brain. I worked Thursday last night and I was a little tired, so I'm slowly waking
I
up,
understand.
but getting this shit done. All right, man.
Yeah, I was haunted last night, so I'm pretty tired.
How was it?
It was great. It was a killer crowd. It was
Good.
awesome. We had
Yeah.
a great time. Yeah.
Good, man. Yeah, I had to work last night, but I was up at my haunt doing makeup, and we finally went into overflow last night, and we were slammed, and I had to leave. So I hate leaving the haunt, but
Gotta pay the bills.
adult life. But
Yeah, no, I get it.
it sucks. But we'll just jump straight into this, man. And
Let's do it.
Yeah, dude, it's a lot of questions, but they're fun
That's all
questions.
right.
All right, let
I
me.
like fun.
Yeah, fun is great, dude.
Yeah.
So my name is Arthur. I am one of the owners of the Dark Carousel Podcast. You've been talking to me on Instagram back and forth and stuff, so appreciate you. Nice to finally meet you. And then next to me is
Nice
the
to
other
meet you.
owner, and this is Steve. And we are the Dark Carousel Podcast.
Awesome.
A little thing about
Nice to meet you guys.
No, nice to meet you too, buddy. A little thing about what we do. We find actors and actresses, special effects companies, haunts, and we talk to them not because of what their haunt is or what their characters are. We dive deep into their brain about what really got them into this world of haunting, because we all deserve as haunters for normal people or people out there in the world to understand that this is just not a hobby. It's a lifestyle, and it's really, really important. But to dive deep into these lovely little questions, tell us who you are, what haunt you work at, and what got you into this lovely little monstrosity.
All right. Hi, my name is Funny Bones. I've been haunting for about 12, 13 years, whatever 2013 was. And currently I'm haunting at Haunted Gallows. That might be backwards, but
Yeah, we can see it. Yeah, hell yeah.
Haunted Gallows in Burrillville, Rhode Island. It's a small mom and pop haunt for the moment. It's been around for the last 3 years. And I've been doing it with them since I moved down to Providence about back in 2020. What got me into haunting, though, I'd say back in 2013, just some mutual friends heard about it through them, and I was just interested in it. I've been sort of a spooky guy my whole life and didn't really realize how I could get into it. And they kind of just showed me the ropes, and these people were up in Litchfield, New Hampshire. This is Spooky World up in Litchfield, New Hampshire. So that's where I started out. And then it was just all downhill from there.
It's all, I know that's right, man. Now, like, what twisted moment first gave you the birth of the jester, of what you do? Are you a jester, or you call yourself a clown? Because some people.
A fool.
Ooh.
So it's the Wretched Fool is more of a reference to the Fool Tarot.
Okay.
And even though it's very much a clown persona, the nose and everything like that, and then the whole getup. Above all else, yes, Funny Bones is a clown, but I like to refer myself as a fool.
Okay.
And the whole persona, or how I became this, what the lore, if you want to get into the backstory of Funny Bones from the start, it was just actually a joke. Online on Facebook, there used to be this mask group, Horror Mask Maniacs, and just mask collectors and horror enthusiasts. And there was a guy on there who called himself Davy Grins. Davy made a mask that was pretty crude looking. It was really simple latex design. I loved it, and I was asking him to make me one.
Right.
So he made me one, sent it to me. I just put it on, and I was like, I need a character name. I need to think of something. And it was just this black and white clown mask, very heavily influenced by the Crow's makeup, with the mime face paint and everything, right? So the mask came to me. I just sort of put a character story behind it real quick, that Davy Grins killed this carny character at a carnival who didn't laugh at his jokes. and Davy Grins took this haunted mask, this cursed mask, and put it on this dead corpse of a man that has no name. And the Cardi became a clown because he just didn't think clowns were funny. So now the joke's on him. Now he's a clown.
Oh.
So the clown now is basically a vessel for other clowns, which is why I have like multiple masks and multiple different kind of versions and styles of this character. So it's just like a vessel, like very heavily influenced by like Ermac from Mortal Kombat. It's just a bunch of souls in this one vessel, which is why I can like switch through personalities, styles, faces, stuff like that.
Damn, dude. See, I love when some haunters, including yourself, because you just said it, where they use different techniques. They just don't continue to do the same thing. And, I love using this definition, but the definition of insanity. If you continue to do the same thing over and over and expect, a different outcome, I mean, you're wrong. It's always going to be the same thing until you take that step and go down a different path and you create something different and unique. That right there is a unique thing because, one, you can't get bored with it because it's different things. And then two, the fact that it's just one of those things where you can literally use it in so many different ways. And I love that. That's so fucking cool. Damn, dude.
Yeah, it's a variety. It's a spice of life.
Yeah, dude. It's like having like split personalities, like in a non-harmful way.
Arsenal. I like to consider it an arsenal.
Yeah, an arsenal. Do you remember the first time you stepped out there into the lovely haunt world and you got your first scare?
Yep, I actually made someone piss and shit themselves, and it was fantastic. So I started out. I didn't have this character. I started out in like a hospital-themed house called Riverside Hospital at Spooky World, and it was not like exactly like a mental asylum. It was like a mix of like it was a hospital, and I was just an escaped patient wearing hospital scrubs that and all I did was just hang out in the back in the dark corner, and it literally just the first group of people that came by was just two women. They came by, and I didn't do anything. I just kind of like revealed myself from the darkness, and they hit the floor and screamed, and then they were laughing, the usual fun stuff. But then one of them turns around and she goes, "Oh my God, I just shit myself." And that's it's just a reaction to say that out loud. "Oh my God, you made me piss myself." And her friend's like, "Ha ha ha, come on, let's keep going." No, she goes, "We gotta go. She goes, "Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? You just shit your pants?" She goes, "Yeah, we have to go home." And that was my first scare. I was like, "Hey, I like this."
Yeah, dude. I get to make people shit themselves. Yeah, I remember one of my first, it's not my first scare, but it was one of the first time ever haunt acting. And I was 13 or 14. I don't know what. It was a long time ago. I just know that. Where I was in this old haunted house, old school haunted house called the Chambers of Horror in Ohio. And there's this scene where it was a moving wall. Well, here in Ohio, we have like the Cincinnati Bengals. So back then we had Chris Henry from the Cincinnati Bengals randomly show up with his group of people before he died. And one of his guys, I had like a little hole to pop my head around while they were walking past, and I scared him, and I got punched and it blasted me right in my face, and I'm like, bro, that was awesome. That was so cool. I need more of this. So yeah, getting punched in the face was my first initial scare itself. What about you, Mr. Sluice? What was yours?
Oh shit, dude, that was like 34 years ago.
Well, I know, but it's just one of those things.
I'm getting old, man.
You're an old fart.
Oh man, Again, one of the first haunts I did, like I said, I was like 7 or 8 when I first started this, and it was actually it was just a neighborhood haunt. It was before they built Kelly's house. We lived in a cul-de-sac, and they didn't build this, or the final neighborhood house wasn't finished yet, so it was still just a little patch of woods in this little area. So neighborhood kids, we made our own little neighborhood haunt. Well, we had this little zip line that we made out of. We went up to the harbor store, or this harbor freight place, and we got this steel cable, and we thought we were gonna be badass, you know, sliding from trees and shit down to the ground, scaring people. Well, first little group of people came through. We were so excited. We couldn't even stay in character. We just thought it was so cool that someone actually came through our little haunt, you know? And for, you know, and it was a range of kids, you know, anywhere from, like I said, 7 to like 13, 14-year-olds. It was just a whole group of neighborhood kids. Well, the so-called like leader of this whole thing, he was like 13, 14. He was like, dude, there's people coming. I'm getting ready to send them through. Let's do this. We're all just dancing like, oh my God, someone come. Well, anyhow, I'm playing with this zip line thing. And I'm up in this little tree. I'm probably about 12 feet off the ground. And I thought this was going to be cool, you know. Well, first group comes through, and it didn't go as planned. As I went down, we were using like this old log as a handle that we tied to this rope and a little bearing to slide down the wire. Well, the log, I guess, broke. But I landed right in front of these people. They screamed so loud, and I just kind of laid there, and I was like,
I'm in so much pain.
I'm in pain, but that was awesome, you know. And then and then you know, after they screamed, you know, they laughed and they, you know, just kind of finished walk through the trail. Well, it went a while. Nobody else came through. Well, the little guy that was running it, he come by and he goes, dude, that was awesome. What'd you do? I heard him all the way up front. I was like, it was an accident. That thing broke on me. And he was like, hey, he goes, did you have fun? I was like, no, I mean, I'm a little sore, but I'll be all right, you know. But anyhow, and then again, that just kind of fueled it, and we perfected it and just went on from there. And over the years, everything just kept, you know, growing.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't even know that one.
Dude, there's so many stories of all the haunts, but yeah.
Oh, man. Now, when you step into your character, do you become Funny Bones, or does he become you?
It's not some sort of like absolute like method acting or anything like that. I don't just like have to completely focus. I do have a character that I do that for, but for Funny Bones, I feel like it's just a more spiced up version of myself.
Right.
I just kind of enhance my flavor with more, you know, comedic kind of thing. I just me, but confident. Think of like Jim Carrey from The Mask.
Yeah.
I throw this thing on, and then I am just, you know, smoking.
Just fucking locked in. Now, have you ever locked into your character so much where you kind of just lose control, and then you're just like, well, what the fuck am I doing?
Once in a while, like if I'm explaining some haunt stories and stuff to people who aren't part of the haunted house, every once in a while, like that character kind of slips out a little bit. So I'm like, oh, I kind of got to reel it in, because like they don't exactly know like the talk or the trade or anything like that. So I gotta just tone it back a little bit. You can feel that kind of character. It's like I want to show them how good it is, how good that life is, how much this character means to me.
Yeah.
So every once in a while it'll slip out, and I'm like, ugh. But no, there's no like character personality takeover or anything like that.
It's like, it's so hard. It's not really hard, but it's hard to describe to people on how haunting feels, especially if like you're really dedicated and it's so passionate to you. And then, you know, you talk to a normal person and they're like, but I don't see a point. It's like, dude, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you're going to have to physically like do it and not just
you either get it or you don't.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know how to explain, man, because it's one of those things where once you get your costume on and you go out there on the floor, it's just see you later reality, hello haunt world. It's the best feeling in the world. Now, what's one of your favorite techniques that you like to do when you're haunting? I know you said you don't do a lot of method acting and stuff, but like, what's one thing that you love doing for your character that always stands out?
I like to lull them in a false sense of security, just kind of split their mind, you know, just come off as approachable, kind, funny, something like that, and then let them just let their guard down, and I just go in for it, you know. So I can talk to them how I'm talking to you, and then I can change it up and change my voice, or, you know, turn around and get behind them. Anything like that, just make them feel comfortable just for a second, and then that's it.
Yeah,
just get them.
Just fucking get it. I love that so
Yeah,
much.
because I come off like I seem like a human.
Mhm.
And obviously with the mask on, it's a little bit more unnerving. You get the uncanny valley. You can't really see my facial expressions. If I'm painted up, it's a little bit different. If I have my face painted, and I got my teeth out and everything like that, it's still a little unnerving because like I got black goo in my mouth,
Mhm.
and I'm emoting and gesticulating a little bit more with my face.
Yeah.
So people see that and they're like, what is he doing with his face? So like I like to use a lot of body language too. As a
Yes.
clown, you're supposed to be moving around a lot.
Yes.
So you wanna use that to your advantage, and I do.
Good. Yeah, and I think that's the best way to really present yourself because you can present yourself in so many different ways. You can look badass, but there's just one thing that you can't miss when it comes to like you said, you can either be a silent character that has a lot of body language that doesn't really present anything, or you can be a vocal character but you still have to have that body language because you just can't sit there and be like, yo, I'm gonna do bad things to you. And it's like, okay, now
Yeah.
now we're just getting a little awkward. Now we're just getting
Step by
weird.
step, can you explain what you're gonna do to me?
Now, have you?
Here's
Have,
my list.
Yep.
Yeah, here it is. I have about
Here, you know
10
what? Here, I'll send that to you. What's your email address?
Here's a little business card.
Yep.
Now, have you ever went into the silent realm when it came to being an actor?
Are you talking about a character that doesn't dialogue?
Yes.
Yes. So I do that's actually one of my first established characters, um, which is a like a faceless butcher character that I have. The mask looks pretty similar to what I don't know. It's been compared to Mushroom Head and Deadpool, just because it just has no mouth,
Right.
no mouth, no nose, no ears. It's just face structure and
Cool.
eyes. So the character doesn't talk. I do make some like weird, like, reptilian noises or something like that, some gurgling and purring and growling and stuff like that, but no vocalizing. I don't have dialogue as this character.
Hmm.
And I like to use that to my advantage, and obviously getting a lot of inspiration from like big silent characters. You got like Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers. Um, but I don't do the absolute stoic thing where I'm just a big block of meat.
Yep.
I still like to be, I'm a big guy, a whopping 5'9", but I'm also just a pretty wide character.
Right.
And I like to take up space.
Mm.
But I also feel I can move very fast too. And I move pretty quietly for my size. So I
Okay.
use that to my advantage. I'm not talking, I'm not doing anything. But I do have, sound effects cues. So this character has a scythe blade that it's removed from the post of the scythe. And I have clacker gloves, and I scrape my clacker gloves across the blade. It's just such an unnerving sound. It's just that
Yeah.
scraping metal sound. Sounds like you're unsheathing a blade,
Yeah.
or I'm swinging one. So I use that to my advantage as a silent character, where I'm like hulking and kind of skulking and stomping around, but I'm also like darting around
Yeah. Just
people through
the
the crowd.
uneasy feeling of just like, oh, this is a big dude, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, this big dude can move a little bit. He's like glitching through the
Yeah,
world.
yeah, just juking in the in the
Love that.
crowd.
Yeah, I have multiple characters, but this year I discovered a new character. We went to Trans World and I bought a monkey costume from
I
Midnight.
saw that.
Yeah, dude, thank you. It's a badass fucking costume.
Yeah, it is.
But I don't talk. I do this like shuffle, and I'm very very awkward. And I've learned that awkwardness is actually pretty scary. And I didn't realize it until I was doing it. So again, it takes me forever to get to one point of the park and to the other point of the park. But it's so funny because even when actors or people or any type of, human bodies are roaming around, I'm still shuffling around because I never know if someone's going to pop around the corner. And I want them to get caught off guard. Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? But here's the thing. I'm not going to respond to them. I'm going to continue to walk forward. I make sure that the customers or whoever I interact with, they give me my adventure. Don't get me wrong. The character that I play, Monkey Man, he doesn't, he's kind of stupid, but he's really smart in a way. He's kind of like he has like a childlike mind,
Yeah, it's
but
one track mind.
That's it. There's it's just tunnel vision. And it's awkward, but it's so fun because when people start interacting with me, they're like, all right, you're good. Like, for instance, someone want to take a picture. I'll freeze. I will not move. I'll stand like a statue, like someone's posing for a picture. And then as soon as they take that picture, I'm locked in. I ain't moving. And they're like, oh, okay. And they wait. And I'm still smiling. And they're like, okay. I'm still doing my thing. And they're like, dude, this guy's fucking weird. And I'm like, I just continue to stay there. But it's that awkward feeling of just being completely silent and not moving and just locking in. That's my favorite thing in the world. But I can be a vocal actor, but I discovered the love of being a silent character. But you have to make sure when you're a silent character, you use it in the right way.
Yeah.
Have to. Now,
Agreed.
what really drives you to return to haunt season every year?
The paycheck. No. It's just the love of doing this every year. And I feel like I wish I got this at an earlier age. I consider myself kind of a late bloomer to the haunt gig, because like I said, I only started about like 13 years ago, something like that. And just I don't know, just finding it, like, because I've always wanted to do something fun like this. I've always been involved in some type of performance in my life, but like this just kind of clicked well with me, and it just keeps clicking well with me. It's just fun. It's just so much fun, and I think everyone can agree on that point there. But like, it's the variety too. Like I said, it's the variety. Like, because I've gone to multiple different haunts to work at, and you get the same type of people, but different people. And every interaction you do, every scare, whether they're scared or laughing or disgusted, whatever, it's all different. It's just a really great feeling. And in a sense, like it's not just a hobby. It's a way to like socialize in a sense. Cause I'm not like, I'm working with my friends, all the other haunt actors and stuff like that, but you kind of make a relationship with everyone you scare.
Yes.
And that's the whole point. It's just that connection. It's just a brief connection. It just feels good.
Yeah, you feel like you're somebody, I mean, fuck, dude. I remember back in, let's see, either 2019 or 2020, and this is crazy, and this is how small this world is in a way, and just honestly, it's just a revolving door. I think it was 2020, where you got into with Cult of Fools, and you went to Spencer's.
Oh yeah, that was very, very brief. I barely remember that.
Yeah, so the crazy thing about all that, I was supposed to be there with you guys. He drew up my picture for everything. I got everything like signed because we had to do that little signing thing, and he drew up the rough draft. But apparently, I didn't know much about the social media world, so like I wasn't posting enough, and like I didn't have access to like a lot of shit. So I was like, okay, cool. So he drew my stuff up, and that was it. I just have an outline of my picture, and then I saw you. Willie Vodka. Was it Willie Vodka?
Yep.
And
it was
Relic.
Willie. Yep.
And I was like, fuck, dude. Like, I was that close. I'm like, damn it, man.
So with that too, not a lot of people. So we all had, a lot of the haunters had our, illustrations made up by this artist. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I think it was like Mike or Mark or something like that. Cult of Fools.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure he's a tattoo artist too, and I think he was just really busy. But this moved forward with like a couple of different characters that were mostly online characters too. But I got my image illustrated, but it didn't move forward to the next step where it was going to be marketed for Spencer's as the merchandise stuff. But I'm pretty sure I still have that file somewhere on my Google Drive. But there was also Abaddon. I don't know if you remember Abaddon.
Yes.
He was involved in that. I'm pretty sure he actually had his marketed to the Spencers because he was doing like guest appearances and stuff at Spencer's and like signing shirts and posters. But yeah, it was a cool opportunity, and I was sort of right there with you too. I was just like, oh, I wanted to have a a Funny Bones T-shirt in
Yeah.
that style too. But it was a good opportunity. I got to see my character in a really interesting way for an illustration. So
Yeah. Isn't it crazy on how just what you can do in this haunt world? And it's like the people that you meet are they're so extraordinary in their own little way, and you just don't know exactly what's going to happen next. You know, it's like with us with the Dark Carousel. Like, dude, we've talked
Yep.
to so many amazing people. Big names,
Yeah.
small names, huge haunts, small haunts. And you know, the coolest thing is like, why did you respond to my message? Like, what the fuck? And like they talked to us, and I was like, whoa, wait, man, like you're a normal person just like us. Like, cool. I mean, normal. We're normal. Yeah. But it's just really interesting to sit there and think, it's like, dude, this is fun. This is such an opportunity, and you know, it doesn't matter which path you take, it's going to be an adventure no matter what. And that's probably the
Exactly.
coolest thing about being a hunter, because dude, I remember one time, this was like 2017, 2018, one of the years, I don't remember. But I was working at my haunt. I went outside. This is when I smoked cigarettes. And I came into my haunt, and the owner approached me. He's like, hey, you want to be in a music video? I'm like, yeah, yes, sure. And all of a sudden, I was in a music video for this girl that was from Italy that showed up at our haunt that wanted to shoot.
They've done that to us several times,
dude.
though.
It's so random.
Like, hey, no pre-warning. Hey, tonight, I need you to be in this video. Okay, cool. What am I going to do? Just be at this spot at this time. They'll direct you. Okay, cool. There's been like 2 or 3, and yet we never heard nothing else out of them.
The only one that I've
I was like, well, that was pointless.
the only one that I've actually saw was the one that I was in, and then when I had a chauffeur, I showed Speed when he came to our haunt, and dude, that was a disaster. I could not keep up with that kid. Now he's one of the top streamers in the world, and it's like, okay, this is cool. I mean, it was a cool opportunity, but don't you fucking ever ask me to do that again, because that was not a fun time. Oh fuck. All right, so what's one of the like rituals, or if you even have a ritual, what do you usually do right before you get in a haunt? How do you lock into your character? I know you said you're not a method actor and stuff, but like, what is one thing that you just love doing?
I like to listen to my music. I throw some tunes on, things that are relatively like circus themed, clowny themed, and it can be anything from like the band Igor, just either heavy music or fun music. Just it's that's a really good like inspiration for me, just
Yeah.
to sort of lock in, and you get the goosebumps from it, and it feels good. So that kind of like motivates me. It's like, okay, I want to be a silly guy, but I also want to be a little devastating too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's music really gets me in, and obviously like most importantly, just fueling up. So I eat appropriately. I'm not like pounding like Monster or Red Bull or anything like that. I try to hydrate, drink some tea, eat something with protein and stuff in it. And then yeah, just focus, listen to my music, and then
Just
lock in and just start
lock
getting
in.
ready.
Hell yeah, yeah. I think the always the first initial, very important part is the very beginning, because if you go out there with an empty stomach and no water, you're
Oh, yeah.
you're slammed with a bunch of sugar. You're gonna be drained real quick within an hour. Real fucking
Yep, and you gotta take your pre-show jitter shits too.
quick. Always, dude. Them
Yeah.
jitter shits are the worst, dude. I hate pooping at haunts, man, because it's like it's extra like messy, because like you're already messy, then it's like, man, I got poop.
Yeah,
I
bring
think
your
it's-
own hand sanitizer too.
I think it's funny because, like, with us being roamers, when we're running around through the Midway, they tell us all the time, like, the other haunts usually have porter johns or whatever out close to their scenes or whatever, and they can, go. Us, we don't. So with us being out with the customers walking around the Midways and stuff like that, dude, you got to go. They tell us just stay in character. You can go in the bathrooms with them. So, dude, if I got yeah, I'll go right in. I'll go right in the bathroom, because don't get me wrong, we have a huge bathroom out in our main Midway. It's all cement. Our place is fancy, it's a big old park.
Nice.
But anyhow, yeah, it's got fuck, I don't know, probably about 15 to 20 stalls, shit ton of urinals. It's huge. So you'll go in there and people be pissing, and they can, it's a divided wall, and they can see it's like only halfway tall, and they'll look over and they'll see like a clown just walking by real slow, and they're like, what the fuck?
Hey.
You're not supposed to be in here. And I'll just wave and shit, and I'll just go in there and pretend I'm washing my hands sometimes, or I'll just go in the stall and just start making fart noises just to really get them cracking up, You got to do different things, But yeah, we go in the bathrooms with them. Screw it.
Oh man,
You gotta go.
oh
Yep.
dude, absolutely. I don't know if I can actually go into the bathrooms. I usually just go into a porta john, and plus I usually just hold my my 2 moments until I get home because
Dude,
man, I just
that's how problems start.
yeah.
You gotta go. You don't hold.
Yep, I get it out before I hit the field. I gotta make sure of that. So, like I said, that's why you gotta eat and drink before you get out there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Unload.
Here we are talking about poop on the Dark Carousel Podcast.
You gotta do
It's very important.
It's
That's
very
all
okay. All right, I'm gonna add that on my list. I'm gonna ask every actor, like, do you go poop before you start?
That's gonna be a new question on the Dark Carousel.
Now, how do you build an emotion into the chaos when every scream is different?
What do you mean by that?
As in, like, since scare factor aspect is like it's different in so many different ways. You can get screeching, you can get straight panic mode, you can get pop scares, you can get the people that are physically having a panic attack. Like, what is something that like really drives you to continue to get more different screams?
I wouldn't consider it like a drive. It's just like a focus.
Mhm.
I mean, you see different people and how they react and stuff like that, and you can see the scaredy cats right out the gate.
Oh, yeah.
And that's easy. It's low hanging fruit. And I try to just get in and out with those people because there's always going to be a bunch of other haunters who want to go for that too. They're sharks. They like to smell blood, and they get right into it too with you. But for like different reactions from other people, clearly people who aren't scared or they're just not reacting and stuff like that. Like I said, I do my best to come off as approachable. You got to split their mind. So that changes like my direction and how I want to like. I'm not just gonna just be in your face and stuff like that. I'm just going to like I'm gonna walk on my own way just to kind of take off, and then I'm coming back.
Yeah.
So like they think they're safe, and then they're not. So
Exactly. That's the best.
So it's like, I mean, I'm not looking for a different type of scream or decibel level or anything like that. I want a reaction. So if I can't get them to scream, I'm gonna make them laugh. If I can't get them to laugh, I'm gonna make them disgusted.
Speaking of disgusting, what's one of the most disgusting things you've done since you've been in this haunt industry?
I ate a $20 bill out of somebody's hand. Someone dared me to.
You actually ate it?
I mean, I didn't swallow it or anything. It went in my mouth pretty deep. But somebody held up a 20. It's like, I'll give you $20 if you go scare my group of friends over there. I was just like, all right. I took a big bite of that and just stuffed it in my mouth, and I just went and did the thing.
Yeah, dude.
What else? I've eaten like food off the ground and stuff. People drop food or bump into me and they like have a corn dog or something like that and drop it on the ground. I'll pick it up and just shove it in my mouth.
You ever bulldozed a like a pile of kitty litter and it ended up not being kitty litter, it was throw up?
No, I don't think I've had that opportunity yet.
I have on accident. Okay, so I was locked into my character, and I was doing my thing, and it was just the heat of the moment. The crowd was eating it up, literally. I mean, I was eating it up too, and I saw this big pile of kitty litter, and I was like, "Oh, cool, dude, what's up?" So I ate it. And I didn't know what it was, so like I was still locked into my character. Go behind the scenes, spit everything out of my mouth. While the bartender came up to me and was like, "Yo, listen, like, you know what that was?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was kitty litter." They're like, "No, that was someone's throw up. We had to put kitty litter on it." I'm like, "Oh." So I don't fuck with kitty litter. I don't fuck with anything on the ground no more because I don't know what I'm putting in my mouth. It's just those moments right there. I mean, I look back and it's like, "Oh, that was a good time," but no, that was not at all.
Well, the food was half digested for you, so like most of the work was done.
Yeah, I just did it. So it's like, whatever, dude. I don't have to swallow it.
Yep.
If you could trap one fear inside of your carnival forever, what would it be?
A fear in my world, like to scare for other people, or my fear that would keep me scared.
Your fear.
it's it's always going to be heights. I
Mhm.
have a pretty big fear of heights, and that goes for like roller coaster rides and stuff like that, planes. And I wouldn't say it's like a trembling fear, but that's what scares me the most. So that's probably what I would lock in for my creepy horror world.
Mm. Now, how would you utilize that into a haunt character? Like, how would you, if you could bring that fear out without the actual height, how would you do that?
So I had thought about this before too, with like 3D haunts and the UV
Hmm.
um paints and stuff like that, and the 3D glasses and stuff. And you can make that pretty easily in a room. And just painting the floor or the walls around you and stuff like that. And I had thought about doing this where you take like a wooden plank and just keep it on the floor.
Yeah.
So people have to walk on that plank, but on either side, it looks like there's just this deep, like, cataclysm that just drops. So like the effect looks like that. And I
Yeah.
would love for like people to like maybe like either, bungee jumpers or something like that on the walls, or just something that makes it look like people are hanging and maybe falling or something like that in this room. The room just very disorienting. And I would use that for my fear because heights. It looks like it's a long way down, so I
Mm.
would go with that.
Fuck that. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of heights whatsoever. I'm not as bad as I used to be, but I know, like, if I don't have anything protecting me or anything, I'm a little discombobulated itself. It's like going through like spinning tunnels. I used to be like really bad going through them, but doing this for 20 years now, I'm basically like I know how to do it. But
I've
sometimes,
had the opposite reaction with the spin tunnels. I used to be so good at them, and now all of a sudden I can't go in them without
well,
getting a little nauseous.
well, last night right before I went to work, I walked through one of our haunts. And dude, since I was in a Congo line, and we have two tunnels put together, and it's really long. Well, the first half of the tunnel is spinning really slow, but the other half is spinning really fast. And usually it doesn't bother me at all because it's look forward, keep walking. And well, I caught a glimpse of the one moving slow, and then all of a sudden I looked at the one moving fast, dude, and the whole world just went. I'm like, whoa,
Just hit you
dude.
real bad.
I was like, holy crap. I almost got like vertigo off
Yeah,
that shit. I did not enjoy that, but it was like, holy crap. I haven't felt that in a long time. Yeah, I'm not a big
yeah.
fan of that. My fear is more of I always feel like somebody's watching me. That's a terrifying thing. Like, there's a movie called Mothman Prophecies where, the Mothman is uh in like they're in a hotel, this guy's in a hotel, and then he's on the phone, whatever. Long story short, he goes in the bathroom, shuts the door, whatever. Well, this 8-foot figure is just peeking above the door, and it's like, oh god, like something extremely tall just looking down at you in the darkness, and the only thing you see is eyes. I'm cool on that. I'm not about that life at
Yeah,
all.
I get the heebie-jeebies with that on the way home from the haunt because like we're in the middle of like the woods. We're on like a kind of isolated farm. It's an old wood mill. And to get to the haunted gallows, you got to drive basically down a dirt road.
Mm.
Um, and there is no light, so you got to put your high beams on. And like I don't usually get uneasy about things at all, about anything. But like I'm driving down this road, I'm just like uh Mothman or Goatman, something's gonna pop out in the street or on the road here. That's just like so I'm just 10 and 2 the whole time, just got my high beams on and got my music loud. I was just like maybe that scare off anything that tries to jump into my car.
Just drive fast and run it over. I don't give a fuck what's going on.
I ain't stopping.
I ain't stopping shit.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm
No,
cool.
it's spooky. It heebies my jeebies for sure.
What does the word pain mean to you as a performer?
Emotional, physical.
Both.
Okay. Um, for actor, pain in the physical sense is obviously not taking care of your body. You do a whole weekend of haunting, you feel it. You absolutely feel it. It's in your bones. It's in your muscles. You just sore, stretching everything. You can't do anything to just kind of shake this pain from just being a haunt actor.
Yeah.
For emotional pain, mental or emotionally pain, um, I feel like a lot of actors use some of that for their performance, and I think that's a good influence to kind of take that type of pain, bring it to the haunt, and it's therapeutic. It just kind of releases out of you into the performance, and I think that's really important for any performer. But I feel there's also the pain after haunt season. We all get the haunt blues when season ends, because this is like our thing. We're going for a month and a half doing this, and then it's over, and then we're just like, we miss our friends, we miss the thrill of it, the excitement's gone. So you get a little bit, there's that type of pain too that kind of gets incorporated to this too.
Oh, absolutely.
But, and you save it up for next year, and you let it all out again.
Now, do you do anything on the off season to prepare yourself or to keep that fire ignited?
Every once in a while, like, I get the opportunity to work with other performers for like local community, for like horror themed burlesque performers, such as our friend Throb Zombie. And I get recruited to do, some spooky things for the performance. I'm just like an in-house haunter for the room that they are performing at. So every once in a while I'll get that opportunity. But as for keeping the funny bones thing alive, I was doing more stuff with like TikTok and like doing TikTok lives and stuff like that, just to kind of keep that juice flowing with the character. And I mean, obviously I was doing a lot more with the character like during the pandemic because I had more time.
Yeah.
But now, like, I'm busy with real life stuff. So like, you don't see many posts for me, but like, I also do some like photo shoots with like really great photographers. And just, it just feels good. Like, just, feeling like a star in a sense, just to have your picture taken like professionally.
Yeah, exactly.
So just little things here and there, just to keep that fire kind of lit until next year.
Yeah, it's always good to have like some type of like side emotions for it, or side adventures, just so you can just keep it going. Get stuff like you said, TikTok live, or like how we do it. And, obviously the Dark Carousel Podcast is an all year thing. So, and it's fun to really just do things. It's like, all right, thank God haunt season's over, but I still have a lot of work to do. I mean, it's like, I love haunting. I love haunting so much, but there's also times, you've been doing it for a while and you're like, dude, I can't wait until this is over. Like,
there's a moment of relief. You get that every once in a while too. You're like, oh man, maybe third or fourth weekend, you're kind of in there and just like, I can't wait to go to fucking bed.
Yeah. I just think that has to do with like these kids these days, man. They're locked in. They can go 24 hours. And it's like, fuck, you guys are nuts. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was there at one point, but not no more. I'll just let you guys take over while I go home and go to sleep.
Just pass them a torch.
Yeah, I love it, man. What's one part of Funny Bones that really terrifies you?
I guess his confidence. He's a lot more confident than I am, out of character. I am a little, like I said, it's more of an enhanced version of my actual personal self.
Yeah.
So I don't feel comfortable talking to people the way I do, the way I would with Funny Bones. So it's a more of a social anxiety. So as Funny Bones, he's a lot more braver than me to interact and stuff like that. So I mean, as a horror character though, Funny Bones likes to lie about things. So that's also kind of like a scary thing, is just how much of a liar he is.
Yeah.
Because he talks about he's not a killer clown. He's sort of the hurty clown. He hurts people, but then doesn't say what kind of hurt. Is emotional, physical pain, mental, psychological torture, whatever. So I guess the unknowing part about Funny Bones is that, like, which part of him is going to come out and inflict any type of pain on somebody. So that's actually, like, it's just unpredictable in a sense. So his unpredictability and his confidence, I would say, is the most scary thing about Funny Bones.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Would you say it's a sign of manipulation in a way?
Yes, 100%.
Damn, that's terrifying, because it's like, it doesn't matter what type of approach you give this clown, because it doesn't matter, you're gonna get something.
yeah, like I said in the beginning, like I want to come off as approachable. So I come out as my, happy-go-lucky self or some sort of like happy clown. I interact. I play. I want to play with you for a second. But I also want to absolutely traumatize you.
In so many different ways.
Hmm.
Yeah, buddy. I love that. Now, okay, so we'll dive a little deeper. So when you became a haunter, 13 years later, what has it done for you emotionally, and like what has it done for you as a human person in this world? How did it change you?
Um, it made my smaller world bigger, in the sense, um, I guess, like I said, variety is the spice of life, and I didn't understand like how much like of this world, how big this world is, in the haunt community. So, and I didn't realize like how close people are in the haunt world either. So that's, I guess, it opened up my social network in a sense, where I'm interacting with like-minded people who have the same kind of like mentality as me or the same vibe. Um, so I think that's what it changed for me 13 years ago. I was more shut in, more closed off, shy, and from that point up until now, I feel more confident. I got that, just a little bit of that funny bones confidence in my human self
Yeah.
because of this character.
Huh. Yeah, it's one of those things where like I always say this, um, like I used to be the shyest person in the world. I wouldn't talk to people. I wouldn't go out of my way to do anything. I wouldn't ask for help because I always felt like I didn't want to bother people, because it's just like it's a lack of confidence. But like you said, that Funny Bones brings that out. It's like with my character. If you asked me, like 15, 16 years ago, they put me at a crowd that has like 2,000 people out there, I'm not going to do it. Now
Yeah.
it's like, all right, I'm going to do it, but I'm also going to take my clothes off and I'm going streaking. Because it just builds so much confidence, and I feel so good about myself. And I think that's what's really good about being a haunter. You're allowed to be yourself finally. Nobody's
Yep.
judging you. Nobody's doing anything. The only thing they do is challenge you on how to do things. But like speaking of challenge and stuff, like how do you handle judgment from people who don't understand your world?
I don't. I do my best to explain. And if they don't get it, like I'm not gonna put too much effort into like really kind of, driving it home for them. If you don't
Yeah.
get it, like I said, you get it or you don't.
Yeah.
So if the people are interested, like I've talked to coworkers and family members and friends outside of this who don't, aren't part of this world. So when I explain things to them about it, like what it's like, they're like, oh, people are scared of you and you do this because you like to scare people. I was just like, well, it's not just to scare people. It's an interaction. It's a performance. The same idea as a musician going up on stage and getting a reaction of the people. So, at the end of their set, you get a reaction. So on top of just like being scary, it's just a different world.
Yeah.
We're looking for that, energy sent back to us that we put out to them too.
Absolutely. I love that so much. And it's so cool because it's like it's the reactions that really make you feel good. It could be any reaction, anything at all. You really just feel like, I just did something. I feel really good about this opportunity that I just did this to this person. Even though it sounds kind of terrible that way, but it's just the fact
Yeah.
that when you try to explain it to people, and it's like listen, like I'm not a bad person. I like do have a huge fucking heart, but the moment I get behind that mask or makeup, I'm not Arthur. Like I'm telling you, like I'm not the same person. I'm a fucking
Exactly.
asshole. I have
Yep.
it's my job to make sure that I'm coming off uneasy, I'm coming off friendly, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. In a normal day society, yeah, dude, I am humble as fuck. But in the haunt world, I don't give a fuck who you are.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
He is vice versa.
Exactly.
He loves to entertain. That's his biggest thing that he loves doing. Especially like when there's like terrified kids coming around and they just don't want nothing to do with it. So like he goes up and makes sure that it's like you're safe. We'll protect
Yeah.
you, but we're just gonna harm your parents. Give a little chuckle out of it, And I
Yeah, I
think,
had an interaction like that last night too with a little girl. She was we have like so in Haunted Gallows we have three different paths, and one of them is completely monster free, right? It's called the Boo Patch. It's more like a photo op. There's lots of pumpkins and little decorations to take photos in front of.
yeah,
The monsters aren't allowed in there. We're not allowed to interact with people in there. We can interact with them near it if they're hanging around the threshold, but this little girl was having a real hard time. And little kids, sometimes, I mean, they can be assholes and stuff like that. You get a good scare from them when sometimes they don't react because they're completely desensitized,
yeah,
whatever. But this little girl's having a hard time. I have a candy bucket, it's shaped like my face. You've seen the little Funny
yeah.
Bones candy bucket. So I got candy in there. I got also like, Halloween fun stuff, there's just spiders and glow sticks and stuff like that. She had a glow stick bracelet on. It was pink, and I had a pink glow stick. So I was like, "Hey, look, we match." And then she kind of eased down, and then she introduced herself. She gave me her name and stuff like that, and she was just absolutely sweet. And she was with her sisters, and one of her older sisters was kind of being like, a little brat. And I was passing out candy to her, and the little girl was. I didn't pass out candy to the brat, and I walked away, and the little girl followed me, and she was like, "Hey, I know my sister's really bad, but can I have a piece of candy for her?"
Oh,
But like, yeah, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, okay, break my little heart. Here you go. So I gave her a piece of candy. I was
see,
like, tell her to behave, or I'm going to come back and take it out of her mouth. So it's
see,
just like, but the fact that like you can lull that sense of like security, even for the kids too. So I want them to come back and feel confident. She did. She came up to me after being absolutely terrified. And I think that's important to incorporate into your
oh,
performance too.
absolutely, absolutely, yeah, because you don't want to traumatize anybody because you never know who
No,
you're.
I do.
Okay, okay, you don't want to traumatize little children.
Exactly.
And because it's like you never know what these people are going to do when they're older. They could be a huge influencer on somebody because you went up to them, you interacted with this kid, and then 10, 15 years later they're in the same shoes you are. You
Yep.
inspired them, you brought them opportunities. There was a little girl, because like I do makeup at my haunt, and her dad used to work there some odd years ago, and he just wanted to pop in and say hey. And he brought his, like, I think she was probably, I don't know, between 10, 11 years old. And she was really interested into makeup. She wants to be a makeup artist when she grows up. And so she had the opportunity of coming, behind the scenes and seeing how we create these monsters. This little girl
Nice.
went to every single one of the stations and just watched, asked questions and stuff. And, I told her, I gave her my gun and I told her to start painting this dude because I was just doing the base. And dude,
Yep.
she fucking loved it. But it's just those interactions that really mean the most to us and really means the most to the parents itself. Because a lot of parents, like, you gotta think some kids are neglected or they're, going through a bunch of stuff. But when, like you said, dude, interaction is very important. Very, very important. I love that. That's one thing that's really
Yeah.
sticking out to you, man. Like you're a big interaction person, and it means a lot to you. And that, like, that's really cool because not a lot of people go out there and say, it's like, well, I just do it for scares, or I do it for, like, for instance, I know, what's his name? Buckshot. Everybody does it differently, and like he
Yep.
does it for stress release. And
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
it's a perfect way to release a lot of demons that you've been building up throughout the year. But I love the
Yeah.
way, like, yours is like interaction. I love the interaction, man. It's like it's that's a good fucking answer. That's a really good
Yeah.
answer.
I'm an energy vampire. I want what you got. Give it to me.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I'm gonna suck you dry.
I'm gonna suck you dry like a raisin. Oh fuck. Have you ever felt wait a minute. What the fuck did I write down?
I don't know.
Sorry, I got
You're probably half asleep.
I'm getting there. This damn gnat. What the fuck? Have you ever felt your haunt family saved you from something darker?
I feel like they encourage a lot of dark things. No, I feel I have a lot of friends who saw that type of insecurity in me
Yeah.
at times. And through friendship and everything like that, they and just nice talks with people.
Yeah.
There is a lot of encouragement to like, hey, don't self-deprecate, don't be hard on yourself, and stuff like that. Like, oh, I don't know if I did a good job, I don't know if I can keep doing this every year, I don't think I'm doing a good job. But then you hear like good things about your character, which is great. I love to hear great things about Funny Bones, but then you hear good things about you.
Yeah.
And and hearing that, it's just like that's really like good for the heart and soul.
Oh,
That
fuck
would,
yeah.
yeah. So that keeping the human alive will keep the monster alive.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, one thing.
so I think that's go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You can finish.
I think that's what's important with, like, how my haunt family, the people who really get along with you and make this worthwhile. I think that's really important, to have that type of connection. I know some people just come in here and this is just a job. They just come here to work, and that's cool. Do your work, do your job. But if you get a connection with the folks you work with, all the monsters and stuff like that, the other performers and actors, and even management, security, everyone, the whole team, they're all part of the family. And if
Absolutely.
they're just saying, hey, I walked through your haunt and good job, great job, I think you're doing great. That's good. I
Yeah.
think that's what saved me.
Yeah, it's like if you get that initial, like, a nice little pat on the shoulder, it's like, damn, okay, fuck, I appreciate that. I really needed that, because there's days where, everybody's battling through something. Everybody's really just doing something, or they're stressed about something. Somebody is having their own life problems and stuff. But the moment when someone comes up to you and just says, "Hey, dude, like, I love your costume. Thank you." Like,
Yep.
like when I say thank you, I really mean that. Like, it's not just like oh, thanks. No, it's thank you, dude. I appreciate that, because there's a lot of hard work and dedication that we all put into our characters, and to see when someone notices that, it's really important to acknowledge it 100%. It's like, fuck yeah, dude, thank you. Like, you look great too, or just those interactions, man. They just mean the most. They really fucking mean the most.
Yep.
What do you think horror teaches people about being human?
That they're alive and that they could die.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a simple answer.
That's about it. So, I mean, that's the I would say the basis of horror. It's just like you're alive, and at any moment you could die. But I mean, horror just kind of inflates that. It makes it very death flamboyant.
Yeah,
Because you got like things like Final Destination. You could just die randomly because something happens, and I think that's a really great movie to kind of express that, like a type of feeling of life and death.
yeah,
But I mean, then you have the slashers and supernatural and sci-fi type of horrors and stuff like that, which is obviously far-fetched. That's not real, but I think having that kind of flagrant, like, exaggeration on death with different types of horror really puts that type of mentality into perspective, like dying. But like, well, what if I died butchered with a huge machete, or sent through a wood chipper, or a ghost possessed me and made my insides explode, whatever, anything like that. So I think that's what horror teaches about being human.
I mean, some people call it horror. We call it home. That's the biggest thing. That's
Yes,
that is
agreed.
100% thing. Like, it's just something that is fun. And like, I love how some people are just like, "Oh, you're a haunter." I hate this so bad. Like, you'll get those kink girls, which are fucking hilarious, and you look at them and they're like, "Oh, I bet you're a freak, lady. Listen, I got 5 fucking kids. I work some shit job. When I go home, I ain't no freak. I'm washing this shit off and I'm gonna go to bed." I don't get it, but it's like some of those people. I love that. Just
Hey, Clowny, you want to come play with my balloon knot?
ew.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll get some drunk
Yeah, I
chicks
think
say
that's
some crazy
a
shit.
pretty interesting thing that social media sort of inflated that too, with this
Ghost face
perspective
stuff.
of that's very basic. But like I don't yuck somebody else's yum, but I'm not afraid to shame somebody too.
Absolutely.
and and at the end of the day, you're there to get scared. It's a performance, nonetheless. I mean, if you have a certain feeling or way about it, I guess, keep it to yourself. And, just the same as, like, it's a controlled environment. You're not supposed to go out there and, start flicking the bean or anything. You're supposed to go out there and get an interaction. This is the same as like, there's haunters that come in here. It's just, I only do it to scare people, but it's a controlled environment. You're not going outside and trying to scare people on your off shift or anything like that. So yeah, the interaction with like, the book talk girlies or the monster fuckers or anything like that.
Yeah.
We get those every once in a while, but
They scare
they
me.
need to just understand. Well, we'll keep you safe. You're safe with funny guns. But yeah, they just need to realize it's a controlled environment. They could just reel it in a little bit, just for the sake of we're the show, not them.
Yeah. Like, have you noticed throughout the years of how haunting is changing and it's starting to get a little bit harder to either interact or scare people nowadays? Especially like the little teenagers, dude. 6, 7, 6, 7, dude. I'm sorry, but I've never wanted to smack a child in my life. Where are these kids' parents? Like, please.
Yeah, it is getting harder to, I guess, get that, reaction from people anymore. The initial organic type of scare.
Yeah.
I blame, it's the damn phone. Everyone's on their phone.
It's a trap.
But social media and just constant screen time, I think it's desensitized a whole generation. So you have, a younger generation that just sees things that sort of normalize what we're already doing. Not to mention, like, I mean, you see a lot of like haunted houses on like social media. So people already see like there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff and that's fine. I think it's a really great way to put that in perspective for people who are interested in that type of stuff. But like you see it at like haunted horror nights or the big name attractions, and people are just used to seeing that the surprise has already been spoiled. The spoiler alert. There's already been surpassed.
Yeah.
So people already expect to what's going to happen. They know that they already read that book. So it just sucks that you have to. It's sort of a blessing in disguise because it allows you to evolve.
Absolutely.
And I think that's really important to do for all performers and all actors is change it up a bit. Don't be a one show pony. You change something about your performance that makes people look at you, and then not at their phone or anything like that. So change it up, and it is harder, but you just got to work around it.
Yeah, dude. Like I've noticed, like just throughout the years, where I don't know how to explain it, man. It's just one of those things where once somebody gets sucked in the phone, their face is getting sucked into the void. And dude, you
got to put yourself in it though.
We are in it technically, but this thing right here. Hello.
I do when they're on their damn phones. I get right up in their shit. I like, especially when they're doing the selfies and shit with their friends. I make sure I squeeze my head in real quick, and they look at what the fuck, and they'll turn around, they see me like, oh, it's you. Yeah, damn straight, get off your phone.
I love that. Now
I've been doing this thing now where if I see somebody in their phone, they're just kind of like buried in it, they're doing their little thing, and I just look over their shoulder, and then like everyone knows like TikTok things, the songs and stuff like that. So I'll just start singing one of the TikTok songs. It's like this new one. It was just like sugar on my tongue. But I'm acting like I'm reading it. It's just like sugar on my tongue. Like this is your mom. What the hell?
Who are you texting?
Yeah, who are you texting? Put that away.
Oh my goodness. Now I got 2 more questions for you. What is the line between performance and passion, and have you ever crossed it?
I would say in a legal standing, it's the controlled environment, performance and passion. So with performance, I mean, you're out there to put the character on and then get into the show. Now for passion, and I would point this out to all people who are either builders or costume makers, mask makers, anyone who does set design, and even management too. That's the passion. The people who after the haunt is closed, they're still going. They're writing stuff down for the next year. They're getting either to break down the build or set up the build, and I think that's the line between passion and performance, because you have actors who who are passionate about their performance, but it's only, it's temporary, and I'll even admit it myself that I'm more of a passionate performer as opposed to like a complete passionate like year-round haunter. Like I don't do build, unfortunately, but like I have a different type of life that doesn't allow me to do that.
Yeah.
But there are people who are absolutely dedicated to this, which I'm so grateful for, because without them we wouldn't have the haunts.
Nope. Not at all. Yeah, those people that are behind the scenes, constantly building, constantly making, constantly designing, dude, it's a full-time job. And a lot of people in this industry don't get paid for it. They do it because they love it. They do it because
Yep.
it's in their heart. They want to help. They want to do all these things, and it gives them the sense of I'm doing something that makes me feel good about myself. And that's the most important thing about being a haunter, is making sure that you can be yourself and really push yourself to the fucking limits in any which way or form. You can go out there as an actor, you can go out there and pour molds all day, you can do set designing, you can travel, you can sell merchandise. The list just goes on and on and on and on. But the biggest thing is you're going out there and you're doing it. It's very, very important. Doing it is very important. Now, the biggest question of them all, what does haunting mean to you?
Oh, on the spot on this one. What haunting means to me, like I said, it's the expression and confidence I've been given with this character or any character that I'm in. And it's just an energy exchange within a controlled environment, to make this a great show. So haunting for me is part of that, energy exchange with not just the patrons that come through the haunt, but also like with your fellow actors. And I think that's what really also keeps me motivated to keep doing this so much, is because I just love the way it feels. And it's not because I scared somebody, it's because I did something important to me with other people who find this important.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I love that, because it's like, it comes with so much, and it's up to you how you're going to take it.
Yep.
You weren't born a monster, you were made a monster. But it's your job to make sure, how are you going to present yourself? You are your own billboard to these people. You are your own show. Yes, you work for a haunt, but you're going out there with a spotlight in your own little way. How are you going to stand out? What makes you unique? How are you going to go to these customers and tell them, like, hey, this is who I am? And and you can say who you are in so many different ways. You can silent actor, chainsaw actor, pop scare actor. How are you going to really present yourself? And I know I always get.
You got to tell a story. You got to tell a story.
Absolutely, and that's what we do for the Dark Carousel. It's like, it's not about making it's not about like talking about like us in general. It's talking about how other people feel in this world about who we are and what we do in this world as haunters. And it's our job to make sure that we build that story and we hear other people's stories, because other people's stories are very important. And a lot of people need to hear how other people go upon doing things in the haunt world. Yeah, we're a haunt podcast. Yeah, we love every story, but the biggest thing is what we are. We're fucking haunters. We're until I die, dude. If I could tattoo it on my forehead, I would, but I would look like a fool, and I don't want that. I don't want that at all. And plus, my kids would make fun of me the whole entire time. But just in general, like, dude, it's something that I love, and it's something that you love, something that he loves. And if there are, you can tell the difference between a true haunter and a weekender that just comes out there, puts a mask on, collects their money, and goes home. But the people that really dedicate their lives to it, which we look for daily, it's like we're the scouts of the haunt world. We are just trying to find these people that have the dedicated heart to really push themselves to the limit and show these people out there that we are who we are, we love who we are, and we're enough for ourselves to go out there to perform for you, have a great time, and go on with our day. And we meet so many people out in this world that are so great, so terrible, so sad. And it's one of those things where I will take it and I will hold it with me for the rest of my life, because we are all building a story. Eventually we're going to make a book, and hopefully we get a sequel, you know, but in reality is we're haunters. And us as haunters, dude, I think the passion, the love, the community, such an amazing community. There are some bad apples, but we know we avoid those bad apples. We go down this path and we just fucking slam it in a fucking third, fourth gear and just haul ass, dude.
Yep, for 4.5 weeks straight, it's just a haul.
It is.
And I feel like it's a tragic love story that we sort of not telling but living. I think that's it's beautiful. It's a beautiful tragedy.
It is such a beautiful tragedy, because there's so much shit that happens within those weeks, and it's like, you know, when haunt season starts, dude, like my normal life is a blur.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what's
it flies by for sure.
I hate it, but I also love it at the same time, because it's like, all right, let's just get through these holidays, because I'm already done with it. Fucking done with it. All right, man, dude.
Yeah, maybe when it comes after October.
Yeah, no, dude. Dude, I'm telling you, I appreciate you so much for taking the time and talking with us, dude. It really means a lot, and finally able to talk to you. Do you have any questions for Steve and I at all?
How tall are you? No, I'm just kidding.
5'7", brother.
Oh yeah. Short kings rise up.
That's right, dude. I smell things differently. It's a different environment. Oh man, do you have anything for him? No. Again, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you
for having me on.
Hey, dude. No, thank you. Really, like, it really means a lot. I've watched your work throughout the years, dude, and like I've always been impressed with your work, and I love your character so fucking much. Your costume, just the way you present yourself is like stands out so fucking well, and it's like, fuck, dude, I gotta talk to this guy. I have to.
Thank you.
Hey,
thank you.
You're welcome. But dude, with that being said, man, that's it, and I he left. What happened?
I think it's just this.
There it like disconnected.
It was glitching there for a second.
But dude, thank you so much,
right.
and I hope you have a wonderful week. And
thank you. You guys too. Have a good one.
Absolutely, and stay spooky, stay classy, man.
See ya.
All right.
See you, buddy.
Have a good one.
You too, guys. That was Funny Bones, dude. What a fucking dude. He was really like, very detailed with a bunch of stuff, and I love the fact that like he had an answer for every question we asked, and I love that. I love the fact that he's locked in, dude. He's been doing it. He feels confident in himself, and that is very important to build that.
Find out where my suggestion box people were sending in suggestions. I gotta find that suggestion box.
For what?
Oh, yeah. Here's one. Here's one that came out.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Tell Arthur he needs to shut the fuck up. He talks way too much, especially toward the end of the show, and goes on and says the same thing 15 times over.
But we get to talk to people.
I will pass that on. There you go, folks.
I say otherwise. People like listening. No, he's a great guy. I love the fact that we were finally able to talk to him, dude. I'm a huge fan. Always been a huge fan of him. And to finally sit down and talk to him definitely means a lot to us. So, again, Funny Bones, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity. This Wednesday at, when this episode comes out, it will be around like 3. And the next Wednesday will come out 7 o'clock p.m. No, not 7. It'll be like 8 o'clock. It'll be 8 o'clock. So, look forward to that with Miss Laurel from Laurel's House of Horror. And guys, check out the video that Dinwiddie put up on his Instagram. Boy's repping the merch, dude. He did a video and a little photo for us and Frankenfuel. Again, shout out to Frankenfuel, frankenfuel.com/DCP to get 15% off your next purchase. So appreciate you, Mike. Love you, buddy. We have some big things coming up. We're not going to talk about it just yet, but it will come up. Haunting season's almost over. We're almost towards the end, guys. It's going to be okay. We're still going to be here. So buckle up. This is a fucking ride. Other than that, Mr. Sweets, do you have anything? Nope. All right, guys. That was Funny Bones from the Haunted Gallows. Gallows. Jesus, can't talk. From Rhode Island.
Yep.
I think that's our first time talking to a person that's from Rhode Island. Fantastic. Other than that, my name is Arthur. aka Snagz. That is Steve, aka Mr. Sweets, and we are the Dark Carousel Podcast, and this carousel will never stop spinning. See you guys.
This ride on the Dark Carousel may be over, but the horrors are far